Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gemini Twin Ascension. Um, as you can tell, the name of the title, when you get nervous, focus on service. And right now, my nerves are all over the place. Last night, I sat down and I actually wrote out a letter telling the karmic, I'm done. It's time for the divorce. I have not given it to him yet. Certain things this morning prevented me from doing so, and I was going to put it in his backpack, for on his way to work. Well, come to find out, the water pump in our new Durango, well, not new, it's new to us, it's 2013, the water pump has gone out in the Durango. So the karmic had to drive my car to work. Yeah, I didn't think it was a good idea to let him drive my car back after reading that letter, so I've held off again. And I know some people are probably, if you come across this, you're sitting there thinking, seriously, a Dear John letter, you're going to do it that way. You have to understand how the karmic reacts to hearing things that he doesn't want to hear, that he doesn't like, that aren't in line with what he thinks should be going on. So, yes, I'm doing this kind of by letter because I know how he reacts, and I don't want that. And it's even like I've said in the letter, we need to end this before, a fight happens, and one of us does something we can't take back. One of us being him at that point. But I wasn't gonna say that. I just said, one of us, before one of us does something we can't take back, which he's already done some stuff that he can't take back. He can't undo. But I asked him in this letter, I said, I want you to stop and think about what you did to me, back in August, and then the fight the previous September. I said, stop and really think about what you did. Now put our daughter in my shoes. Would you have been okay if her fiance had done those things to her? I already know the answer to that. He would be flat pissed the fuck off. And then, I asked him, if this was to happen to her, what would you expect her to do? Would you expect her to stay there with him, knowing that it could possibly happen again? Why am I so different from my daughter? Why would it be okay for you to do these things to me, but you'd be pissed off if somebody did them to your daughter? I am someone's daughter. Doesn't matter what I've said, doesn't matter, yes, when we first got married, there were times that I own up to it. And there was times that I would get pissed, I would throw things at him, yes. But once I started, I caught myself. I stopped doing that. I was like, this isn't right, this isn't healthy, I'm not going to do this anymore. So I stopped. So yes, I fully admit there are things that I've done in our 22-year marriage now that I shouldn't have. Doesn't make it right. It doesn't give him an excuse to do what he is continually doing to me. And I can't deal with it no more. If he doesn't think that it's okay for someone to treat his daughter that way, why would he think it was okay for him to treat me that way? And I'm really hoping that once, he's forced to face that he's going to understand where I'm coming from on this. I don't want my boys thinking that kind of behavior is acceptable. Granted, most of the time, when those kind of things happen, kids aren't here. Of course, no witnesses. And that's kind of what happened back in August. And my 17-year-old bless his heart, he even said, Mama, he said, it's my fault. I could tell that he was mad. He said, I know what happens when y'all fight. He said, I should have stayed at home, but I'm really glad he didn't. He took my two younger boys over to his girlfriend's house. They went swimming. So I can't remember now what they did, but they were all gone. They weren't here. And I told him, I said, it is not your fault. This is all on your daddy. I wouldn't have wanted him, to get in between, because God knows what the karmic could have possibly done to my son. And no, don't even think about that. Please get that, no. But my 17-year-old has stepped in between before, when we had an argument and the karmic left for work. And I told him, I said, just leave. I said, I don't want to talk to you, just leave. Oh, there's Shannon. Oh, sorry. Thinking he has control of you since 17 years old, and he's kissing, and so it's justifiable in his mind. That's how he's trying to. Yes, I know. But my 17-year-old has stepped in between the karmic and I. Before the karmic, I told him, said, just leave, just go to work, just leave me alone. Well, he left. So walked out the door, and then, I guess he got to the truck, decided to come back in. He turned back around and come back in the house, and he grabbed a hold of me, tried to hug me and kiss me. And I was like, just no. I said, don't touch me, get off me. He kept pushing at me, and I said, don't touch me. And the next thing I know, my 17-year-old son, Kirsten, and you know how tiny he is, a little beanpole thing, comes into our room and screams at the karmic, says, Dad, stop. And I honestly think that really took the karmic by surprise, because very few people actually, will stand up to him and say, no, stop, don't do that. And for my little beanpole of a 17-year-old son to do that, I think it took him by surprise, because he stopped and he backed off. But a child should not have to do that. They should not have to be the one defending their parent from the other parent. It shouldn't happen. It is toxic. It is damaging to the children that witness it, and it needs to stop. So right now, yes, I am. Get my cigarette, dang, fire safe cigarettes. I am extremely nervous about this, because I'm going to give this to him. But I don't know how he's going to react when I do. And quite honestly, I have debated on leaving it on his side of the bed in the morning, because I usually set an alarm. I usually wake up about at 5:30. He gets home a little before 6. So I'm kind of cognitively awake when he gets home. I have honestly debated on leaving it on his side of the bed for him to read, and setting it up to where when he does read it, I can click go live on here, on the off chance that shit goes south. It's to that point that I have seriously debated doing that as a means of evidence. I shouldn't have to do that. God knows when we got married, I never dreamed it would be this way. But it is what it is. He's got issues. I don't know if it's from his current life, childhood, past life, karma, but he doesn't deal with things very well. And it's like whenever I went to see Ophelia back in November, he called me the next morning when I got there on a Saturday. He called me. It was either Sunday or Monday when he called, and he said that the night before, he would only sleep for about 20, 30 minutes at a time. And he woke up and seeing these little black figures moving all around our room. And he said he even saw a couple of them sitting over in my crystal cabinet. He said, well, I thought those things were supposed to fucking work for shit like that. And well, they're kind of programmed for me. If I'm not here, that's they don't really do a whole lot. But he's seeing that I have been the one, for the most part, keeping whatever's attached to him at bay. And when I'm not around, he's seeing that now. And he's, well, I don't know what I could have done to it. I don't know. I've been told he's got, ties to the Behringer gang. I know for a fact in another life of ours together that he shot me. There's a lot of different things that could have caused this, and I don't have the energy anymore to try to fix him. He has to want it for himself. When we had that fight back in September, it was 2018, and yes, I do have the pictures of the bruises saved. This was before, and he's texting me now. I'm not even going to answer right now, but I saved them, and this was even before Lexi was telling me, document everything, every bruise, every, sideways text message, document everything, and this was before she even told me this, because I took pictures of the bruises and I actually sent them to my twin, but he's done throwing me off. When we were texting Wednesday night, because he got mad at me because he asked if his dad had called me yet, because we were waiting on him to call us back. And I told him, I said, well, don't you think I would, if he had called, I would have told you? And of course that let off a whole, bunch of different, fight, argument and everything. And he's like, well, I forgot I'm just this bad monster out to hurt and destroy everybody. And I told him, I was like, well, and I have the screenshots of it. There was no denial whatsoever in it. Kristen Renee, you saw it. And actually, I put them on my GTA Instagram as well. You're the one that tried to rip my cards up. You're the one, that tried to tip my crystal cabinet over. All these, other little things. I said, need I remind you of this? And, need I show you the pictures of the bruises from the fight in September? And I told him, I said, yes, I still have those pictures. No denial from him on it. He just said, I forgot, I'm just a fucking monster. Well, if the shoe fits, And of course, right now, he's trying to be all lovey and, I've been sick. I've had really, really, actually quite painful solar plexus spasms this week. And I've been kind of sick from it and just energy drain as well. And, well, what can I do to help? Are you okay? And it's just at the point I don't. He never denied anything. He knows exactly. Yeah, I know you're speaking from experience, and how long how many times did I try to tell you in the beginning, whenever I was recognizing the signs in him, and you didn't see it. From an outside perspective, people can see that, but when you're so close to a situation like that, it's hard for you to see it, to understand it. And I even, in this letter, I even told the karmic, I said, and you can stop blaming Alexis and all my friends and all this shit, as you call it, on my thinking on this. I said, I've thought it for a while. They just helped me find my voice to be able to speak on it now. It's not their fault. It's yours for what you've done. Yeah. understatement there. Jekyll and Hyde is very much what he does. It's basically what that is. It's the love bombing thing. If you look it up, love bombing, honeymoon period. Things that blow up, and then all of a sudden, oh, I love you. I'm sorry, and they're buying you shit, doing this for you, doing that for you. It's just a tactic for them to get you to let your guard down, allow them back in, knowing damn good and well they're going to do it again. Leopard doesn't change his spots. And yes, I'm hearing Lexi right now as I'm saying this, because there's so much of the stuff that she said is just, it's hitting right now. And he's not going to change after that fight in September. I caught him the very next day online with some girl. And that's when, he started, I'm sorry. He said, it's a control thing. I can't, I can't stop it. I need help. Did he ever, after that point, when he actually admitted that he needed the help, make a concerted effort to get the help he needed? No, he did not. I don't have the proof right now, but I'm damn sure that he's doing it again. He swore up and down that, he did that because it was a control thing for him. He never wanted to control me that way. No, he may not control me that way, but there's other ways that he's done it, and he knows it. He just doesn't want to own up to it. Hello, Melissa. Oh, and Melissa, and I don't think Ophelia is still here anymore. You see Kirsten Renee commenting above you? That is actually my sister. So she's seen, firsthand exactly how the karmic can be. He has an explosive temper. It's just, if things aren't going his way, he's going to make everybody else in his life miserable. And this is kind of funny because this is kind of my pajamas this week. They've just come out of the washer and I put them on again. I had this tank top on, I think, in my last live as well, but I had it on the other morning when he come home because I woke up and I just grabbed the first thing that was over beside the bed before he come home. And he sleeps on this side of the bed. He sleeps on my left side. Well, the arrow on this shirt points to the left. It says kind of care, kind of don't. And he said, he looked at it, he looked at me, he's like, why is that arrow pointing at me? Nice little synchronicity there, because, I told him, I will always care for him. I will always, love him. He gave me 5 of the biggest blessings I have in my life. And that is something nobody else can do. Would I have loved to have been able to have kids with my twin? Yes, but I can't. So that is something that no matter, where I go in my life, whatever else I do, nobody else can give me that. And I can't sit there, and say I love my kids completely and hate their father. I can't. That's not the way I was raised. And I want, and I hope, I'm not going to hold my breath, but I hope that we can, once we get past this, that we can have some sort of decent, relationship apart. That way, we can still parent the children together, still be it. The kids' sports and everything like that without, the dirty looks, the hateful remarks, because I see that. I see, divorced couples. My kids are athletes. I see that, the divorced couples, they sit on the other sides of the gym, but they're still sitting there, scowling across the gym at each other and just being downright hateful to each other. And I don't want that. I don't. That is the whole point of wanting to get away from him, to where we can both have a little bit of peace of mind, find our center, our happiness, and be better people. Because right now, at this point, when we're together, I'm not the person I want to be. And I even told him in this letter, yes, there are times that, I dread you coming home, that I don't want to be around you, because I don't know which version of you I'm going to get. Are you going to try to be, attentive, loving, nice, or are you going to be any little bitty thing I say you're snapping at? And I don't want that anymore. I've said that before, if the boot fits, lace that bitch up and wear it. But yeah, I guess. And honestly, last night, I was writing in my journal after I finished the letter. I was sitting there writing in my journal, and I hear, make a copy. Okay. So I scanned and copied the letter, and it's put up safely, because knowing the karmic, he could, try to rip it up and then say, well, I said this in this letter, and no, hello, I have a copy of it. This is exactly what I said. And it's like I'm starting, and God bless Facebook memories for this. I don't know if y'all heard that or not. My 10-year-old just hollered at my 13-year-old in the living room, you farted. Thank you. And they just completely threw off. I was saying, can you help, please? Oh, yes, Facebook memories. Thank you. I'm starting to see, different things. And he, like I said, he's tried to blame, Alexis, he's tried to blame the cards, anything and everything he can but himself on what I've been telling him lately. And I've only known Alexis about 2 years, few months less than I've known my twin. I have memories that have popped up from 3, 4, 7 years ago of little, complaining about something that he's done. He tried to say, when we bought this house, he's bitching about this house. Now it's 120 years old. God knows it needs a little work. This is the only house you want to look at. You didn't want to look at anything else. And I actually have a post from when we bought this house, It's not exactly what I wanted, but it's what we can afford. So, it's gaslighting's not working, because Facebook's is keeping the memories, and the angels are saying, "Hey, look today, look at this from so many years ago." So, yeah, Facebook memories. Instagram actually has this little thing where you can click on, and the create part, it's got the little time thing that'll show stuff from this day, so many years ago. Google Photos as well. I have my pictures set to where they back up, so I can go in and it tells the date that the pictures were taken. So, I have them in other places as well, but the bruises pictures are there, date and time stamped. I had a couple of different days worth of pictures of those, just to show, the progression of the bruises. So, the documents are there. If I don't want to go that route, I want him to let me go as peacefully as I can. But push me, and yeah, I'm going to push back. I'm not going to be nice about it. If he wants to go that route, if he wants to try the, she did this, she did this. Well, I have the proof. thanks to some wonderful technology and very, very intuitive, insightful, angelic people. Yeah, I can prove mine. Karmic is here. Okay, yeah, sorry, Melissa. Okay, we are going to pull some cards, and I know you don't, sis, you don't watch a whole lot when I do the card part, but part of the reason I think I've got like 10 subscribers and I don't get a whole lot of views because a lot of people are impatient. I am very experience based. I talk about what's going on, and a lot of times, it'll mirror in the cards. So, it's just when I'm guided to be on here, I am. If somebody finds it years later and, they're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. Good. Not good that that's what you're going through, but good that, you found this and you can, if it helps you work through whatever you're going through, then that's why I'm doing it. Oh, sorry, I'm looking for something to hang my new wolf tapestry. Did you get another one? Well, I've got my blanket. My sister has the exact same blanket. My dad got them for us for Christmas. But yeah, I actually have another wolf blanket that I was debating on hanging up in the bedroom, but I decided I'm not going to hang anything else up. Just to have to turn around and take it down. So, as far as my twin goes, I haven't heard from him this week, but I'm okay with that. Do I miss him? You bet your ass I do. I miss him every day. But, I know he has so much going on right now that, yeah, that it's hard for him to, and I know a lot of people, well, it only takes a couple seconds to send a text message. Well, yeah, true. Only a couple seconds to send a text message, but when your means of communication with that person, a lot of times you have to delete because of a spastic karmic that likes to try to go through your phone. Takes a little bit longer. So, a lot of times he will delete the app. But I know when he has the time, and I've said this before, when he has the time and the mental capacity to give me the attention that he knows that I need, that he wants to give me, that he'll message me. I'm not, a lot of people, well, he's just playing games with you, he's just, using you in his spare time. No. I know a lot of people don't understand, don't understand the whole twin flame thing. Yeah, Isis, sexual energy. Don't scold me, please. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. Yeah, that was on the bottom of the deck for the Divine Feminine Oracle. But that's not the card that popped out. But I know when he can, he'll be there. I trust him. I love him. It's just, yeah, it's hard to explain it to those that, really aren't on the journey. But then again, every connection, every twin connection is different. Every dynamic is different. Because quite honestly, people are different. You'll have to see me a picture of it. I want to see it. But, every connection is different. That's why you can't, all these readers and everything, well, I can tell you the exact formula you need to come into union. No. You can't. It's, yeah, sometimes their formulas will work for some people, but that's because their journeys are similar to the person that's offering help. It's not going to work for everybody, and there's no set way. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody is different, and you have to use your own intuition to know what you need to do. Yes, seek, God, help, advice from others. That I'm not saying go it on your own. If that was the case, what would I be doing here right now? Talking about this. It'd be pointless. Sitting there saying just do it all on your own. No, find the help. From others that are going through it. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to you and your twin. That's all there is to it. You know, your twin knows. It's like when my twin and I, it was the summer after we met, we were talking one day, and I asked him, I said, well, what is it about me that that draws you in? He said I can't really explain it. He said it's just this connection we've had from the first night, and this was before I even told him about the twin stuff. He said it's this connection that we have that we've had from the very first night we started talking. He said I can't explain it. I don't know, and can't explain it. And the card that comes out is the Union of Hearts. A love connection defies explanation. That's actually the card for the masculine. It is very hard to explain to anybody. And, it's a relationship is between two people. It's not for a whole community. But we know what's there. We know what we feel. And does he tell me constantly he loves me? No. Not in that way, no. He does. Those words very seldom actually come out of his mouth. But it's the other things he says, the other things he does that tells me that. Ay, Dios mío, what? Not right now.
I was just doing this shit.
Shh.
What?
Just go dump it in the toilet.
There's a bunch of...
Get a pitcher, empty something. It's okay to dump it in the toilet.
Hey.
Out. Go. No, do not dump that in the bathtub.
Hey. Go.
You gotta love my kids. Alright, go.
Go. Hey. Grab the carrot. Go.
Please, go.
Can we have some pineapple things?
No! Not right now. Just not right now. Stop. Please stop. Somebody's trying to energetically interrupt me through my kids. But not going to happen. But like I said, there are so many other ways to tell somebody you love them other than, flat out saying it. Text me when you get there. Did you sleep well? Have you eaten yet? There's so many other ways that they can do it, and my twin does that. Aye, okay. Huh. He does that, He's constantly reminding me, you're not eating right again. Have you slept? It's just, it's those little things that if you're not aware of them, you kind of overlook them. But they're there. Bradley Scout, no sir. My twin's been channeling through my dog as well lately. He's wanting to be right beside me constantly, and Cardick was off work Thursday night, and I wasn't letting Bradley in here, but I wasn't feeling good, so Bradley sat outside our bedroom door whining half the night, get a pitcher, dump some of it out first. Scoop some out, dump, do it that way. I am busy right now. But Bradley sat outside the bedroom door whining, wanting to be right here beside me. So he's channeling King of Cups. Nice. Channeling my twin again. 1, 2, 3. What other ones do we want, baby? Okay. And the karmic is getting very, very jealous of the dog. How petty do you have to be jealous of a furry little animal that, is dependent on you to take care of them? But, he's upset that the dog's getting the attention that he believes is his. Nope, you lost that right. So, yeah, I'm not going to apologize for, taking care of an animal that okay. So okay. Funny thing is, with our Durango, I mentioned earlier that the water pump had gone out of it. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I went with my dad to go pick up his new truck. It was a 3-hour drive to get there to get his truck, and I drove his other vehicle back. Well, when we got back to his house, I started my truck. I drove the Durango because it had been raining. I wanted to leave the car in the garage. I started with the Durango, and I asked him to, look at it, see if he could, because it was making a funny sound. So we opened the hood, and he tells me, he said, I'm smelling antifreeze. He said, you need to have him, look at it. And for the past 2 weeks, since then, I told the karmic when I got home, I said, well, this is what Dad said. And he said, okay, I'll look at it. I said, check the antifreeze levels. And he checked them, and he put some antifreeze in it. And that was the end of it, really. And then, I think it was Wednesday, because he was off work Wednesday night. Or no, he was on his way to work Wednesday night because he was off Thursday. He gets to work and he messages me. He said, I had to stop for a little bit. He said, the Durango overheated. Okay, I thought you said everything was fine. He said, well, I got to cool back down. And now come to find out, the water pump has gone out. My dad come over this afternoon and looked at it. And, there's a puddle of antifreeze on the ground underneath the Durango from where the karmic brought it home when he went to go get some antifreeze. And so my dad poured a little bit more in it, and you could see it was leaking right around where the belts was, and it was actually spraying it up into the motor and everything. And my dad, yep, water pump's gone out. Why didn't you have it looked at? I told him, what you said, and nothing happened with it. So, thankfully, when we bought it, the dealership talked us into getting the extended warranty, the 3-year warranty on it, because it's 2013, so it's not brand new. So things are going to start breaking down on it. So we bought the warranty on it, and I looked it up earlier. Thank you, angels. The water pump is covered, and we basically got the best warranty we could have purchased for our vehicle. It covers all mechanical, and it even covers like the windshield wiper blades and not the blades, the arms. So we basically got the best warranty we could, which now I can take it to the dealership that we bought it from, and it'll cost us $100 to have it fixed when the water pump for it is over $100. So, yay. So I highly recommend if you buy a used vehicle and they offer that extended warranty, yeah, it'll add, $10, $20 a month to your payment. Do it. Because if not, we'd have to, well, my dad could fix it. He could replace the water pump, no problem. That's not an issue. I wouldn't have to be paying several $100s to a mechanic shop to fix it. My dad could fix it. He told me he could. But he's going to be out of town this week, so we'd have to wait for him to get back if we have to go that route. So, yeah, we can have it fixed at the dealership for less than what it would cost us to buy the part that we need. Okay. That's something, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, we will be down to one vehicle this week, which I'm not too keen on. I don't like the Carmen driving my car to the coal mine, but do what we gotta do right now. And that's, another reason why I did not give him that letter today, because I don't trust him not to tear my car up out of spite. Ow, and my knee. Yeah, my muscles are sore right now. Okay. Now that I've talked for, oh, good Lord, I didn't even talk that long before I got into the reading. Okay. Oh, gee. From the masculines, we have Poseidon flow, and this is, kind of what I was, hang on, I'm looking at something. He's kind of, going with the flow right now, and like I said a while ago, he's caught up in things that are going on in his world. He will, when he has the time, he'll message me. I know he will. But that's what they're doing. They're just they're not fighting the current right now. They're just kind of going and knowing that eventually when they get that, if they go with the flow, eventually they're going to catch that little, that little side stream that'll end up taking them back to where they need to be. So right now they're just kind of riding it out, trying not to make too many waves if they're in a karmic situation, because they're feeling a little bit drained from fighting that. They're tired. But again, like I showed a while ago, the union of hearts, the a love connection that defies explanation. My twin was saying, I can't explain it. He said, I feel this connection with you that I've never felt before. And it is a very mutual thing that we, even through the distance, we can feel each other's energies. There's days that I'll really be having a hard time, and just out of the blue, he'll message me, "Are you okay?" Of course, I'll tell him, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just dealing with stuff at home," and I leave it at that because I know how stressed he is, and I don't want to add to his stress. But then I don't have to tell him. He knows. So it's just one of those things. I'm not trying to lie to him, but it's like I know he already knows. But just the fact that, he's messaging me, hey, are you okay? And it's the same thing with him, and I tell him time and again, I know you're not going to talk about it. I know, but I'm going to ask anyways. Are you okay? Do you want to talk about it? And he said, I appreciate you asking me. He said, but that in my mind, talking about it makes it worse. And I've come to understand that with him. But we also have the Chariot here from the masculines. They are finding the strength and the will to, move forward. It's not easy, but they're finding that strength, that knowing that this connection is what they've always wanted. It's what they were searching for in the back of their minds, even from the time they were little. They just didn't realize it yet, but they're finding that strength now to fight and push forward. And I'm feeling it right now because my masculine is very non-confrontational, doesn't like to fight, but he's getting to that point where, he's wanting to stand up and say, hey, enough. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm not saying that they're all going to be doing that right now, but it's there, especially for those, masculines that are in those karmic situations. They are getting to that boiling point, that, point break, that it's going to be, yep, go, wait, leave me in peace. And we have the change card, the Thunder Moon change. There are big changes coming for many of the masculines. Could be job changes. It could be, changes in the family dynamic. It could be, moving. There's changes coming for them in a big way. And then we have the growth card. Seek out a mentor or guide. That's what I was saying earlier. Ask for the help. But the masculines are saying they are growing. They are starting to understand this connection a lot more, even within the past month or two, than they have previously. My masculine has known about the twin flame thing I told him on his birthday of 2018. So it's been over a year now that I told him about it. I don't know how much further he's researched into it after I told him that day, because he came back and he said, well, that sounds like basically exactly what we are. So I know he did read some into it. He knows about the intense connection, and he's learning, like I said earlier, he's learning a little bit more about the whole energy, the telepathy between us, that, we can sense when there's something wrong with the other one. And they're learning to tap into that to better understand their feminine. It's almost like Lexi was telling me one night that my twin was remote viewing her videos through me. He was learning things that way through me. Whether he realized he was doing it or not, his subconscious was kind of tapping into those things, learning a little bit more about me like I do him. And then we have the Eight of Cups, the quest. And that right there, I'm hearing astral travel. Why is that coming up? They're trying new things, learning new ways to be with their feminine, whether they're realizing it or not. They're receiving that information in their dreams, in the 5D, their subconscious state, whatever you really want to call it. Those little seeds of information are being planted in their minds to where their gifts are growing, and they're ready to set off on that journey to get to where their feminines are. And then we have bring peace to troubled waters. This is almost my own masculine. He's saying, I know you know what you need to do. Please be careful, be safe, do it in a way that won't get you hurt, is what I'm saying. So, they don't ever want to see us hurt, and to know that, we are that at times they are the ones that are responsible for us being hurt. It hurts them, and that's that whole energetic loop. He hurts, I hurt, he hurt. It's been responsible. That energetic loop has been responsible for an energetic overload that almost made me pass out. But we won't talk about that one because that one was intense. Okay. From the feminine, let's see. We have Freya, the god of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Yeah, spending your time wisely. It's like what I'm doing right now. I could sit here and be, nervous and fretful and, oh my God, how is this going to play out when he finally reads this? Or I can do something productive. I can, talk here, possibly help somebody else. And then only say yes to the things that truly, spark your spirit. Only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. The feminines need to get to that point where they're not placating everybody, just doing things for the sake of doing them to make everyone else happy when it's making them miserable. Do the things that make you happy, and that will raise your vibration, and then that happiness, that joy, that energetic loop will come around. And I'm not saying that your masculine can only be happy when you're happy. That's not the case, because there's times when, I know he's upset, I know he's, stressed out, but at the same time, I'm here at the house dancing around, singing, playing with the kids. Find the happiness within yourself, and a lot of times, yes, it will spill over into your masculine. But don't rely on that energetic exchange to be your only means of happiness. I hope that makes sense. And then we have the Ace of Cups. New beginnings in love. We're ready to, we're ending that phase, and we're ready for that new beginning with our masculine, that happiness, that peacefulness. I have been seeing so much stuff that deals with travel, passports, Scotland, so much. It's, I want to say it's unbelievable, but given what I've seen and witnessed over the past 2.5 years, it's not unbelievable. It's actually, honestly, it's like, okay, I get it, thanks, but, it's there. He was talking about I should get a passport, and he was talking about how beautiful Ireland and Scotland were, and that would burn the karmic's ass if I went to Scotland with my twin. That would so burn his ass. Yeah. Hello, karma. Yeah. But he was talking about that, and then I opened Twitter up, and Scotland plastered everywhere, and then of course Outlander, and then I have the dream of my twin, helping me get my passport, and we actually went to Scotland. So the travel stuff, it's coming personally for me. I mean, and it has been showing up in the cards. I don't see it as much in the cards I've got laid out now. But in the past couple of weeks, the travel, it really has been showing up. So you just have to be watching out for those opportunities. And excuse me. And then we have from the feminine masculine, and I reiterate this constantly for my twin, especially, slow down. And of course, right now it's the masculine's cards are showing they are kind of slowing down a little bit, not fighting, fighting against the current. They're just kind of riding the flow out right now, and they're resting, waiting to see how things unfold, because they've wised up to certain things, and they're waiting for the right time to say, hey, I already knew this, and they're just, they really are taking a break. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but my kids, oh, they're back there hard. But we have the Ace of Cups, and then we have the Three of Cups, the celebration, both from the feminine. We're telling them we're working towards that new beginning. We want that. The Three of Cups can stand for marriage, but at this point for me, I just want that, knowing stability that, how do I put this? That I'm his. It's, of course, I already know this. He tells me all the time. But we want that celebration together, that peaceful, easy time. Stop. And then we have wisdom. It's basically the feminine saying we know there are things that we have come to understand. There's several different things that could pertain to, but right now, that shows her standing on a pile of books. She's used a ladder to climb up a pile of books in a boat. Boat, water, travel, overseas. Okay. But, we've got that wisdom, and we're working on things that we need to work on. And it's kind of like, yes, I actually did look up the other day on what I need to do to get my passport. The only thing I'm lacking right now, I've got all the right documentation. The only thing I'm lacking right now is the funds. But yeah, that'll come. I know it will. And then we have receive, and this goes into, honestly, the little group that my sister added me to on Facebook, and it is a wonderful little group. I can't say wonderful. There's a bunch of people in it now. But it says, be open to receiving goodness. Believe you're worthy of abundance. A gift is coming to you soon. But the feminines are telling the masculines that they are worthy. They are good enough to have the love that they want, the love that they deserve. They just have to open themselves up to it. Be open to receiving that love. And I've said this before, the abundance, it's not just the money, it's not just the love, it's the peaceful time you spend with friends and family. There's so much more to abundance than just that money. And then we have Golden Solar Angel, Embrace Enlightenment, which basically that goes into the wisdom. It's the feminines are telling the masculines, we know you know. We know you understand a lot more than what you're, kind of letting on that you understand. So, yeah, talk. Let's talk. Let's figure things out, figure out where we're going, and get it done. Really? I hear Larry the Cable, get her done. Okay. Cute. Okay, so the message is from Spirit. We have Trader. Exchange energy to create abundance. Energy exchange, I was actually watching an ASMR video, was it last night? By this Reiki intuitive. There's so many things that she can do. It's called, her channel is the Loon Innate, and she was talking about the abundance, the energy exchange. It's time, it's money. There's different things that tie into that. Money's just energy. It really is. But a lot of these readers out here are, expending a lot of their own energy doing, these readings, for people for free. And it does take energy out of you. So the exchange, a lot of times, you hear the readers say, either at the beginning or the end of the video, if you resonated with this, please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you can. That is a type of energy exchange. When you do that, it puts the reader out there for more people to where they help, and it'll grow their little. I can't call mine a business right now because it's really not. It grows their viewership. It raises their algorithms to where they're in front of more people to be able to help more people. Yes, of course, you can, if things resonate, you can do that positive energy exchange of donating money to them, which I haven't put my PayPal link out here. One of these days I probably will. I just haven't yet because, quite honestly, my PayPal account has my legal name on it. I'm not ready to put that. I'm not ready to attach that name to this just yet, because it's easier for the karmic to track me if I do that. But at the same time, and I was just sitting, I just happened to look down. We have 2 cards from Spirit to both twins that regard abundance, because the Queen of the Moon Oracle decks, that came out with abundance as well. You have to put the effort in to get the abundance that you want back. You can't just sit there and say, okay, I'm ready for my abundance, and think that it's just going to come pouring in. You have to put the effort forward. Don't be a smartass. I know. You have to put the effort forward to help. You do your work, set the intentions. Okay, I'm open to receiving it, and again, like I said, it goes. The cards all feed into each other. Through any avenue, I'm going to say this, any legal avenue, I'm open to it. But you have to put the work in. And that's one thing, honestly, I think the karmic's been kind of bitching at me about. And I get it. My oils. No. Yeah.
us. You know, it's coming. You know, it's spirit is with operation. They see the work that we've been putting in on both sides of the scale. They're the really starting to balance each other out, where the karmics are going to end up independent. You know, the karmics have talking spirit. Nope, that's it. We're done dealing with you. Go sit in the corner, cry. It's you've done enough damage. It's stepping in, wrapping her wings around them, and you're not going to hurt them anymore. So, you know, spirit is really helping they hurt us because we're ready, and they're doing their best to help us with that. But at the same time, and this goes back into the abundance and everything, but this one's more towards love. Actions speak loudly. Express your love with action. This is what the karmic doesn't understand. He's, you know, well, I did this, I did this, I did, I said this, I did this. Your actions on the other side of that prove that you don't. And at the same time, the way my friend acts, a lot of people say, he looked you for a week at a time. He's still there. Whether he's physically communicating with me, he's still right here. He's still, I hear him. I know he's there. I can feel the intent behind what the karma's doing. His intentions, his actions are screaming. I'm not ever gonna change. Fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want. And that's, you know, what the spirit's saying. Watch the actions, feel their intentions behind it, and you'll know. Just pay attention. It's there's so much of a feeling behind it. I mean, just pay attention. Take those fucking rose-colored glasses off, because all they're doing is making the red flags and the white flags all appear fucking pink. So you don't know what's going on. Take them off. Pay attention to what's going on. What else does there say about that? You know, actions speak volumes on somebody's intentions. They can say, you know, everything. Oh, I love you. I hate you. Unless you have the actions to back up what you're saying to me, I don't believe you. I don't trust you. Now, damned if I let you back in my life ever. From the Unicorn Oracles from Spirit to both twins. It says friendship. Seek out your soul family. Surround yourself with positive people. Spend more time socializing. I have my soul family, and several of them have been on here while I was doing this. Spend more time socializing. Yeah, I've been kind of holed up in my room a lot lately, and it's just because I don't have the energy. It's too people out there, honestly. I don't have the energy to deal with some people. But then we have leadership. So step into your leadership role, share your message, inspire and empower others. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing my story with hopes that you won't get to the point that I am, you know, spending, at this point, it's over half of my life. I've been with this man for 23 years. We've been married 22 years. I'll be 40 in May. That's over half my life with this man that, as Kirsten and I said earlier, is so much of a Jekyll and Hyde. It's you know, he can be 1 minute, oh, I love him, and the next fucking bitch. it's just ah, that was but I'm hoping that when somebody comes across this, that they won't have wasted so much time and energy on someone that wasn't right. That's what I'm not trying to be a leader, but helping somebody else, recognize those red flags from the beginning, save them from years of trauma and heartbreak, and constant roller coaster. If I can do that, then that's what I'm supposed to do. No, sir, Bradley, stay out. Starting to get that anxious, nervous, pissed off feeling right now, and he's picking up. Ooh, excuse me. And also very, very close to therapy. And I am Bradley's person. No, sir. So whenever I start getting anxious or if I'm sick, he wants to be right beside me. But the last card we have for the messages from Spirits Both Twins, and I've been saying this throughout this, it was to seek wisdom of your shamanic guide. And it's not necessarily shamanic guide. I mean, there's different names for it. It's not just those spiritual people. It's the friends that have that outside perspective that can see things a little more clearly than you can when you're so up close. I understand why I watched those now. I watched both of the Now You See Me this week, and when you're so close to a situation, it's easy to be fooled. You can't see everything that's going on. But for somebody that's on the outside looking in, focusing on a little bigger picture, we can see. So, seek the help from other people. Um, and like I said, it's not necessarily just the shamanic guides and everything, because not everybody out here is going to want to go that route. But it's understand that there's other people out there that you can benefit from their wisdom, from their perspective on things, on life. Um, just ask other people for the help. Because, like I said, a lot of times when you're so close to a situation, you can't see it clearly. Sister, when she was here earlier, can vouch for that. I saw things in her own situation years ago that she was too close to notice. I saw those red flags before she did, and that's one of those things where you kind of joke sometimes that I should have been born first because I'm not saying that I'm smarter than her. No, I'm not saying that. Really hard to hear me. Go figure. Hang on. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here and talk for 10 minutes and nobody can hear me. And my son called. He takes my microphone out. But sometimes when we try to help somebody who is too close to a situation to see beyond their own nose, you're gonna get some resistance from them. You're gonna get some flack, some backlash, a little bit of tension from it. God knows, whenever I tried to call my sister, you know, I was calling her out, I was calling that whatever you wanted to call it, the piss poor excuse for the man that she was dealing with. When I tried to tell her what I saw there, she didn't listen. And yes, at that time, it did cause a fight. It, it caused a major fight between us, to where we fought for months. But I held fast to what I saw, what I knew was going on, and I wasn't going to let her project her denial sway me from that. I knew what was going on. And yeah, I may be a little petty with this. I remind her, I warned you, and now she's kind of doing the same thing to me. How can you not see, a lot of the same red flags that you saw in this guy for me? How can you not see them in your own husband? And that goes back into the, when you're that close to the situation, you can't see it. So, outside help can help a lot. If you're going through a situation like this, try, the domestic violence place, I have yet to utilize them several times. There are resources out there to help if you're going through, an issue. I'm not. You can't compare, your pain to somebody else's. You just can't. But I know that some are going through, have a lot worse off than we do. It's not a constant thing. Like, you have everybody believing I've beaten you bloody every day. One time is one time. Okay. I did pull a card from the Archangel Animal Oracle deck, and we have sheep. It's Archangel Gabriel and Hope. Act with fortitude and cooperation. That's what I've told the karmic. I hope we can deal with this peacefully, with integrity, not start dragging up crap that, really don't want the kids reliving. I hope we can get through it peacefully. Okay, let's see. Your guidance for today is cooperate with others. Realize that together you can accomplish greater things than if you work alone. Your aspirations can be more easily fulfilled if you act from the heart and the right brain. So open your heart today and listen to your inner wisdom. Visualize your goal being achieved with love, happiness, and joy. Whether it's acting in harmony with your family or friends or working as a team with your colleagues, the outcome will be satisfying. Be calm, be kind, be simple. It is through sacrificing self and personal ambition that everyone will win in the flame of hope. That, as I was reading it, I was reminded of something else that Lulu makes talking about last night. And this video is fairly old. Talking about, attracting and when you think about it, how does this feel? What are you planning on doing? Is this something that's really going to make you happy? If you come from a place of, it'll come to you more easily. But learn to work together, accept help offered, and don't be afraid to ask. we're going to do one more card. We have the animals. Now we're going to do one card. Uh, one card for which angel is working right now. And this is a deck. It's called Angel Reading Cards by Debbie Malone and Amelia. Sorry, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I know I will butcher. Whew. Okay. We have the Angel of Enlightenment. And I know Enlightenment came out earlier in the universe. And that's threes have been showing up every I open to the exact right page. It says your journey of enlightenment has begun. Be surprised by hidden spiritual gifts you have within you. Like I was telling my sister earlier, she went into a couple of crystal stores. It was a nice little surprise for her, honestly. I was kind of jealous. But she went into this one store. The first they went into a couple of them, but she went into the first store. She said it was great. The energy was great. And then she said she went into this other one, and it was more of an upscale. But she said that there was just something in there, just like the energy felt off. And I was telling her, I said, well, she said something about the clerk. And I was like, well, was she blonde, kind of big? And she's no, she's that lady. It's actually Asian. Well, I'm seeing a kind of a short blonde hair, kind of big girl, and she just her energy. She was sad and she was anxious. I said, I honestly think maybe you were picking up on that. I don't think it was necessarily the energy of the store because she does have empathic abilities like I do. She's still learning how to use them. I said, I honestly think it wasn't the store itself. I said, I think you were picking up on someone in there. And I think I'm going to be, work with her and try to teach her on how to shield herself to where she's not, internalizing the feelings of people that she's around. Because as her gifts are expanding, she's going to be doing that. And it's going to get overwhelming for her, especially for her. Because there's tools at my disposal that she can use. They're real needs they do help me. But my sister, she is epileptic and she can't use those. It's essentially a strobe light but with sound for her. But she can't use those. So I want to try to help her, in other ways, learn how to shield herself to where when she goes out, she's not being bombarded, constantly with all of these different energies and to the point where she doesn't know if it's her or if it's somebody else. So, a lot of us, our gifts are expanding, and mine, I think, in a way, it's not just this channel; it's helping my sister. Yeah, I honestly think my soul's older. But helping my sister start learning her gifts, how to use them, and harness them to help others if that's what she chooses to do, or at least give her a peace of mind where her head's not as chaotic as it already is. I love you, sis, but you kind of um, and then, and I have a feeling this one is for me, and I would find it funny that I was talking earlier about angels wrapping their wings around to protect you, and we have the guardian angel. I don't even really have to read on that one because that one's self-explanatory. Know your angel is with you every step of the way. Archangel Michael, seeds of light, baby worn necklace that hangs here by the bed when I'm not wearing it. Oh, mother of God, that thing's buzzing right now. Woo. Okay, so there's just, and I keep, you know, there's a couple crystals in my drawer. I actually have a geode slice from that I bought specifically because it's from the same place. Um, probably didn't realize that one, but you know, I have all sorts of crystal protection. I honestly debated. I have a big kyanite, not kyanite, black tourmaline. It's fairly big. I thought about shoving it underneath one of my pillows tonight because if I leave this letter out for the morning, I'm going to need to leave it. Yep. Okay. We are. Oh, I'm going to pull a room and see how many say, hey, pull a room. So it's one of the ones that doesn't have any. What am I here, Georgia? I know why, because the kids are watching Star Wars. Oh, we have that, which is ice. It does kind of mean stand still. That one's kind of, I don't think this one has that. It says the winner of spiritual life is upon you. You may find yourself entangled in a situation to whose implications you are in effect blind. What was Ernest talking about a while ago? When you're that close to a situation, you are blind to what's going on around you. Oh, you may feel powerless to do anything except submit, surrender, or even sacrifice some long cherished desire. Bullshit, I'm not surrendering anymore. I'm definitely wrong. Be patient, for this is a period of gestation that precedes a rebirth. Positive accomplishment is unlikely. There is a freeze on usual activity while your plans are on hold. Mm-mm. You may be experiencing an unaccustomed drain on your energy and wonder why. I sleep beside an energy vampire, that's why. A chill wind is reaching over you, ice flows of old outdated habits. Trying to hold on can result in a shallowness of feeling, a sense of being out of touch with life. Seek to discover what you are holding on to that perpetuates this condition and let go. Shed, release, cleanse away the old. Doing so will bring. It's basically, it's saying that there is a freeze on you right now, but you can work it off. The work you do is essentially the blow dryer sitting there thawing out that ice. Get shit moving again. You don't have to stay stagnant. You don't have to stay stuck. Turn that damn blow dryer on hot heat and work through it. This usually easily requires a sacrifice of the personal, the I. At such a time, you cannot hope to rely on help or friendly support, and yet there is no reason for anxiety. Submit and be still, for what you are experiencing is not necessarily the result of your actions or habits, but rather arises from the conditions about which you can do nothing. Worries like brains if you can't do anything about it, why are you worried about it? All right, but because I care about it. And he told me this in regards to one day I told him you need to slow down, you need to stop working so much, you're going to make yourself sick. I said, when you get sick, I worry about you. Why worry about you? You're not here to why worry make yourself miserable because I care about you. It's not that I'm wanting more back to myself. It's saying worrying like praying. It's I care about you. I feel your energy, and I know you're not giving yourself as much. What has been full must empty. What has increased must decrease. This is the way of heaven and earth. To surrender is to display courage and wisdom. And yet there is another place to stand still. Just as winter is a time of going within, drawing Easter can announce a time of restoration. This is the part that I knew that what it was saying didn't sound right. Just as winter is a time of coming for going within, drawing Isa can announce a time of restoration and renewal at the deepest level. In your solitude, exercise caution and do not stubbornly persist in attempting to work your will. No, Bradley Scout. Remain mindful that the seed of the new is present in the shell of the old. The seed of unrealized potential, the seed of good. Trust your own process and watch for the signs of spring. You know, a lot of us have been sitting there using that blow dryer to thaw things out, doing the work to get things moving again. And that's what this is saying, that time of rebirth renewal is here for a lot of us. We're ready to step into that unknown, uncharted territory. And for me, oh, get rid of that. For me, that uncharted territory is being a mom. I went from 17-year-old senior in high school, because I literally found out on the day before the start of the senior year in high school. Got married almost 2 months. I went from being from senior in high school to being a wife, and then a mother within a matter of a couple of months, times in between, to be on my own, to know who to figure out who I was. And now, I am stepping into that uncharted territory of, okay, who am I really? What do I really want? Not what everybody else is telling me I should want for me. Um, well, I hope this helped, and I hope this last 20 minutes or so, that after my son called, that um, you could still hear me fairly well. If this helped, like I said, like, share, subscribe. That's the whole energy exchange thing. Um, and please go to Instagram. I post on there as well under its same name, January 20th, and with the same little profile picture as on here, which I will be changing. That was something that I threw together really quickly, and it's starting. But until next time, morning, evening, noon, whatever time it is when you're watching this. For me, it's 10 o'clock at night, so good night.